All right. Now, I want to officially welcome you all to this other session of the computer application user. Now, colleagues, I want to congratulate you for attending, at least so far, for the 2 days and successfully completing the activity that we have provided, especially for the web developers through the Google Classroom. Today we look at the third module that is under computer application user for using Office application system. We are delighted that we have Mr. Mukalele Rogers, one of the powerful authors who has written very many resources. I want to take this privilege to invite him, Mr. Mukalele Rogers, to start up the session. Along the way, I know we shall have a very collective interaction as we continue. Please, if there is any question, any comment you want to give, I want to guide that you can type it in the chat room, or if not, along the way as you receive the presentation, you can put up your hand. That is for inclusion in any case while we continue. So Mr. Mukalele Rogers, I want to invite you immediately to start the discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And yes, morning members, I hope you can see me.
Yes, we can see you, but maybe I can hear from another person.
Okay, thank you very much for joining in, members. I'm coming to you live from our offices here on Maanda Road, in the heart of Kampala, on Bombo Road. This is the Nsegumire building. We have an office here. As the shareability team, we are here in our office. So in case you come to Kampala, you are always welcome. Now, today, one of our facilitators, Mr. Dumba, is a bit engaged. There is an activity that is on, and I'm going to be handling this session together with Mr. Ogisha Dennis. But I don't want this to be centered on me, but I want to engage you a lot today. As you know, computer applications are part and parcel of the syllabus, even for the old curriculum. Everywhere people are learning, they start with learning computer applications. That's the first thing that they learn Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and all those ones. And even for DIT, they are part and parcel of the program. Actually, this module, computer application user, most of the people thought it was actually only supposed to be the applications, but DIT, when they were making the HEPs, they saw that it was not enough for a learner to just learn Word and Excel, but they want this learner to be in the world of work, to be able to make money. So they decided to add on other modules on that, so that someone can run a computer enterprise. If you know how to type your Microsoft Word, Excel, and all these other applications, do you know how to handle the clients? Do you know how to send email? First of all, if your computer breaks down, do you know how to assemble it? That's what we looked at in it. And also, do you know how to install and maintain your computer before you start typing the applications and handling the clients well and entrepreneurship bit. So some people were surprised to see other things on the middle. For them, they wanted us to only teach Word. Yeah, but the framers of the HEP, they saw that no, learning Word alone is not enough. It requires much more than that. Okay, so I'm going to be we are going to be looking at how to prepare learners and achieve what is stated in what is going to be assessed at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm going to request you I'm going to share my screen in here, and then we can be able to go into that. Okay, we can be able to go into that, and then we should be able to continue with what we need. Okay, so today we are looking at now, but before I go into that, I want to members to have a settled mind, aware of some more information that is coming. There are some new developments regarding DIT, and we are closely monitoring what is happening. And I would like to members to I want to say something before I even go deep there. Okay, so let me first share my screen here. Just a second. Share my screen. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. So here, this is the WhatsApp which I've shared. There are lots of messages happening on WhatsApp, and there is an article that was also authored by Daily Monitor here. I've been reading it, and it has an alarming headline which is saying government house O-level vocational exams. I know some of you have seen it somewhere in the groups, and you'll be saying, "Hey, now aren't we off track now? What we are doing again, they are halting." I've also been so when you read this article, you will notice that there are some stakeholders who attended a meeting recently. The meeting was at State House. So we have people, different teachers have been raising, because schools really, for sure, schools are not ready. Even us, we are just learning this now. We are just, others have not got the books, and yet the assessment is slated for November. Some around 500 schools have already paid, learners have paid, but many others have not. So according to this meeting, they are saying that they are going to issue a circular. According to this, they are going to issue a circular which is going to guide. So it is expected to issue a circular on the partial curriculum implementation suspension anytime this week. So we expect a circular on that. But we should be, so they are saying the over 108 courses are outlined, and the students are supposed to choose one. And but teachers with refresher training, they don't have requisite knowledge, hands-on, and then so they are saying that, okay, there are no other teachers who were hired. So there are many issues that they raise, and this is the valid feedback. Even the head teachers are really scared of what is happening. Yeah, so that is happening there. I'm going to request us to wait, but at the same time, we notice that this DIT is the part of the curriculum framework, even A-level, it has been put. So what I've seen from one of the platforms here for the DIT support team, they are saying that DIT has been doing assessment even before the new curriculum. So those schools which are set and they have the equipment and they are ready, they will proceed. Then those which are not, they will be given more time. Maybe they can get assessment later on, and learners can get an opportunity to do they can always do this assessment anytime. So they may not do in November. So that is what I've read on the DIT support platform. Yeah, just shortly here. But let us wait for the circular. In any case, whether it is suspended, for us, we are early adopters, and this is even an opportunity. If it is suspended, it means the DIT is going to be given resources to organize more workshops. They are saying that over 3,500 schools, only 500 have registered learners so far. Okay, so more workshops are going to be organized. Even the books, DIT may be given resources to print, and this the way NCDC was given. NCDC was given money to print books, learners' books, and they were given out some copies to schools. Of course, still they were giving a few copies, but they gave. But DIT, they had not. Even the workshops, they had only, they released funding for only head teachers workshops. So for now, members, just stay calm. Let us wait for the circulars, and then we shall be guided more on what to do. But for our program here, for us, we are continuing. Yesterday, I was still also inquiring about the same. They said, why we just continue? This vocational training has been there even before the new curriculum. So it's not just about the new curriculum. It is going to continue, but we wait for the guidance. That's what I wanted to clear that before we proceed. Maybe, I don't know if members have any comment on that, but I'm now going to be going in here, and then we'll see what we are going to look at today. Is there anyone who wants to say something on that? Is there anyone who has any question or any comments?
Apparently, we don't have any through the chat room. Perhaps if there is any, colleagues, I would encourage us to use the chat room. Like you said, Mr. Mukalele, we are early adopters. In any case, colleagues, while NCDC may, rather DIT may consider deploying or having workshops, there is likely to be need of a team to support them in the trainings. And so by us undertaking this training, I really see advantage for us. One, a room to practice, internalize the content prior to the physical implementation of the assessment in the time to come. But again, an extra opportunity for us to be recruited elsewhere to do what? To support. That is where need may be. So I want to encourage participants to be very positive and to pursue this with all the utmost commitment that they have had from the time of the beginning. Then, like I said, if there is a comment to make positively, you can use the chat room. If there is an inquiry to post, still use the chat room, or just shoot up the reactions button and lift up your hand for any comment. Otherwise, Mr. Mukalele Rogers, I would think we can now dive in today's presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mugisha. Yeah, so I really wanted different people to, maybe people could be having some issues on their mind. So that's why I wanted to first bring that out. But the DIT does the things in partnership with the right publishers, and even these previous workshops which just happened, I was privileged to be part of the team that was rolled out to go out there. So all the members who are on this and those who complete, I'm going to be submitting these, like all members are going to fill in. We shall take your details, and I will be also giving them to the national coordinator. In constant communication with her. So in case of any opportunities, this, even if there is a suspension, it is an opportunity for us actually to prepare and share with other colleagues, because the colleagues are fearing that they are not ready. So for us, if we are at an upper hand, it will be at a good position for us. So that is that. Maybe in case of anything, you will be able to raise those other issues at the end. Now, that said, let me first now go into what we're looking at here. Let me first go, before you proceed, let me first look at this. Let us first look at this ATP briefly for the third module, user office applications. So when you look at user office applications, which is the third module, which we are supposed to prepare the learners in, this is part of the Uganda Vocational Qualification. And this one, for it has been there for some time. This particular computer application, the user or ICT practitioner. Now, the first thing that they are talking about, the learning working assignments, we have what we call managing files and folders. We have preparing Word documents, prepare presentation, prepare Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, and then prepare Access. Those are the modules that are there. This occupational health is part and parcel of each module. Learners need to be cognizant of the safety around them as they use and they do the various activities. So this is what we are having here. Now, I know I'm very confident many of us have been handling learners in one way or the other, and we have passed through some of these activities. Before we proceed, I want us to first have a small discussion on, in this session, I'm going to share, and that one we are going to be going in. We have prepared notes on each of these. I've been sharing some work also in the WhatsApp group. I have a textbook on computer applications. I sell it at 20,000, but for this group, I'm sharing it in soft copy free of charge so that you can be able to use it as extra activities that you can use when you are handling learners in these areas. So, of course, we cannot pass through all these within this 1 hour, but we are here to share experiences. And in case we have any challenges that we identify, we can be able to look at those ones specifically. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask members to, we are going to go into a small breakaway session. And Ms. Augisha is going to be in one room and I'm going to be in another. And we are going to identify the common challenges that we meet, limitations that we meet when we are handling learners in computer applications. And then after that, we are going to share strategies and resources on how to best prepare the learners. So, we are going to be having a simple breakaway session. So I'm going to be identify. We are going to have identify the. Okay, so you know that sometimes we prepare our learners, they finish, they do UNEB and finish, but when they are still half-baked, they cannot do professional work. Remember, this is not about UNEB. This is world of work. Can a learner do a table of contents? Can a learner do a document, a good document, and print it very well? Can a learner do a good presentation for which can be used in every. So these applications, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, can a learner really do an industry level database and be able to deploy it if a client needs a service requiring creating a simple database, maybe for managing your school records. So we need to, when we prepare our learners for subsidiary ICT, do they pass narrowly just to get a point, or they go when they are good and we are proud of them from what we are going to do. So for the learners of DIT, we need to discuss the strategies that we need to prepare the learners for the world of work. Okay. Okay, so that is let us
Good morning, colleagues. I want to welcome you to this breakout room. This room will have at most 10 minutes for us to share experience. And the goal of this interaction while we're here is to identify some of the challenges we have had while handling Microsoft Office, and then probably share the experience, how we have handled effective those who have been in position to be successful. So at this time, I want us to utilize this chance to interact. May I confirm I can be heard? Teacher Benedict, are you able to hear me?
Joined in late, but I can hear you very well. Thank you.
Very good. And then Teacher Thomas.
Yes, I'm hearing.
Okay, okay. Mr. Mukalele, I thought you are going to the other room.
Yes, but for you, okay, let me see. You remained in the main place, eh?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's fine. So I had shared with you, but I don't know how I left. You first go to security and enable sharing.
Okay.
Give me co-admin again.
All right. All right.
Okay, so I'll be able to see where the breakaway sessions are, but this is I seeing my screen, Ms. Aukisha?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, so when handling computer applications, yeah, so that is the first question, and then the strategies preparing learners for the world of work in these applications. For preparing, maybe you can say wholesomely. Okay, so we want it to be a bit more interactive in that case. Now, let me try to check. I've seen the breakout rooms you created. Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let me.
Okay, now colleagues, I think we stay in this room together with me. I have Teacher Chika, I have Teacher Benedict, Mr. Luchams, and then Teacher Jamada. So we're supposed to be interactive. You saw the questions. The goal of us is to have an interaction.
Okay. Yeah, a real product which can be presentable and can be given. Can be given and can be printed, something. So we simulate what are the common things that, for example, people, if you have a secretarial bureau, what are the common things that people come when they want to type? Okay, so we get these real documents, and then we ask them to produce work from the real world of work and give them scenarios. So this one can help them not limit just on the skills that are there. So that is something that I wanted to say on that regard. I want to hear from one more person, and then we are going to be going back to our breakaway session, to the main room. Is anyone else? Anyone want to say something? Okay, so maybe what I can do, let us go back to the main room and then we harmonize. Yeah, let us go back to the main room and harmonize. Okay, so okay, members, thank you very much for that breakaway. And Ms. Augisha, I don't know whether you were through with the discussion.
Yeah, actually, we're making a final conclusion about the episode, Bring Your Device Policy, to address the limited number of resources in the schools, where the schools can allow the students bring in the laptops, but also have good management. So we're having a discussion that if the schools have not yet implemented this, the ICT teacher can guide the school over this proposal, but also try to guide them to notify that they can be managed, because the schools are always scared. What happens when the learners have finished using the computers? So maybe the administrators can gazette a place where the laptops are kept, and then the students sign the laptops and then they take it back. A case study here at Bugema Adventist Secondary School, we interested the school through this policy, and they implemented it. So learners brought in PCs, they are kept at the reception, the administrative office. So every time there's an activity or they want to utilize them, they go to the office, sign for the laptop, utilize it, and then later on take it back. So this has helped to address the limited number of computers in the school. Maybe we can conclusively hear from you on part of the strategies you people had.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you very much, Mr. Augisha. So in our group, the members shared mainly, we didn't share much, but most of the members say they don't have a lot of challenges when it comes to handling the applications. But the main issue raised was in the areas of database, and most of the members were saying calculations, queries, and putting formulas in a form was something that challenges them. And even in the spreadsheets, handling graphs, like if you have to put a line graph and a bar graph on the same sheet, is also another area. Then one of the strategies we have said is for DIT, especially when you're handling learners for new curriculum, is to use project-based teaching and learning so that learners can come up with documents from the world of work. So what do people normally type commonly when they come to typing a place? Others want research documents typed. Others want to type maybe exams. So we should give learners complete project where they can be able to explore all the features that they will find if they have to open up a business out there. So briefly, those are some of the things that we're discussing here. Now, members, I am seeing our time is moving, so I want to now address and share more strategies and resources regarding these areas that we are supposed to look at. So in this ATP, you will find several tasks. These are known as practical exercises that they are suggesting we give learners: creating files and folders, renaming them, preparing the Word documents and formatting and printing, and then PowerPoint presentation, creating it, saving, formatting, linking the slides, and then printing and sharing. In spreadsheets, we have creating the workbook, saving it, formatting it, working with the formulas, visualizing, that is the graphs, and then printing. Then finally in database, designing, creating, saving, creating forms, running queries, link external data, generate reports. So these are some of the things that are there. Now, what we have done is one I've shared, and I'm sharing even right now in the chat. One, there are these teaching materials. There are several teaching materials. Personally, I've been teaching since 2009. So there are lots of resources. There are these slides. I normally sell them at 30,000, but I'm giving them out for all. So you'll find presentations. These ones are based on the A-level syllabus, but as you have seen, the DIT outline is very limited. It's very just brief. So you can take learners, if you want the notes, they are there. And then the various, the cut, copy, and paste, and these office formatting documents, just the way those things which were there in the spreadsheet, in the ATP. So I'm going to share all these slides share the link there. They're on Google Drive. You can find all of them, word processing, even these other topics. You can download them so that we can utilize them when we are preparing our learners. And we are beating two birds with one stone. We teach the same topics in the new curriculum, and then you can give extra practice to these ones of DIT who are doing that applications user. Even the databases topic is there. And one of the things that I've talked about of project-based teaching and learning is this part. So let me just show you this part, if you can see it. A simple project when it comes to database project, school marks and reports database management system. So I want us to utilize projects-based teaching and learning a lot. So you tell learners, create a simple school database, create related students and table reports, mark entry forms, generate reports and queries, and making report cards using database. You can task those learners to brainstorm on the table, the fields themselves, so that you don't just give them a number when it is, so that they can be able to create this kind of database, and then you evaluate the project. And as much as possible, we should be learner-centered. We should be learner-centered when it comes to this kind of work. So in this session, of course, we could not teach all these practical exercises in this session, but we are here to share these resources. Then two, I've shared some good books. I have some good books here. I have some good books in my drive here. I've shared also in our WhatsApp group. In our WhatsApp group, I've shared the enrolled WhatsApp group. You'll find some of them there, but I'll be sharing others. So there is these books here, which are in the WhatsApp group already. There's this one, which is a practical Computer Lab Applications book. For this one, it is for extra practice for these learners to get the competencies. So just a second. Yeah, so for these learners to get the competencies and be okay, this book is the 25,000, but I'm giving it to you free of charge. So you can be able to utilize it. Each learner can get a copy. So if they can walk us through, there is word processing, spreadsheets, database presentations, even some introduction to web design there. So there are some brief notes, and then there are more numbers. So those who are doing DIT should do enough practice so that they can do, especially some of these layouts like in tables, okay? Drawing this kind of table and managing rows and columns, the orientation in word processing, using shapes. Then, so we have several numbers for each application, over 30 numbers. Then you go to spreadsheet also, several numbers, over 30 numbers, which they can use to practice, and then they can be confident. They cannot fail to pass these applications if they do these numbers in spreadsheet. And then the other one is the database as well, creating the tables and the generating the queries and the reports and everything. So these numbers should be able to help the learners to prepare. So if you want the step-by-step guides, they are also there. I have some of these good guides. I have made some more on my Google Drive. So we are going to share others through the Google Classroom. So with these ones, they have step-by-step procedures, if that's what you need. These ones are more detailed. This is 126, so they have step-by-step procedures. But the other one of computer applications, for it just has questions and brief notes. But this one is more step-by-step, click here, click here, click here, in case you need them. Yeah, but this one can help you also with the other curriculum when you are handling in those particular areas. So we are sharing, and even there is another link which I shared up here. This one which has IT high quality notes. This one, in case I know some of us are having the Office 2007. So if you're having Office 2007, you are going to find here also the notes for several. These ones are good white labeled notes, which you can use for guiding. So if I open, for example, a spreadsheet. So this one has spreadsheet. What is a spreadsheet? This one is 80 pages, and then it teaches the interface. But these ones are basing on Office 2007. So if you are still having Office 2007, you can utilize these ones, and they can guide the learners. But after, these are just notes. What will help most will be to go and you give them more practice and project kind of work. Okay, so before I go away, I don't want to go away without doing something. I'm going to open Access here. There is a member who, most of the members were raising issues with Access. Let me hope my machine here is going to allow my product key. I had not activated it yesterday. Okay. Okay, so I have access here. So many members were raising issues with the Access. So I want to just do something small here, and then we are going to be having some more questions, and then we see how we wrap up. Now, of all the applications, even my friend Mr. Dumba, he normally says for him, Access is an issue. And he has problems with Access and all that. Yeah, but one of the things, and it's one of the applications on this ATP, on this DIT Access, I think is the one is a bit more complex. It's not a direct document. For it, it has a table. So one of the main things that we should know, we should emphasize, is the design view. Learners going to the design view, like that project of a school. If I'm doing a project for a school, report system, then I should be able to know how can I create this kind of database. So I will have to say, maybe I have student, okay? I say student or student table. Then I choose my fields which I need. Maybe I have a student ID, okay? Then I can have it as auto number. Auto number meaning it should bring me these IDs automatically. But if I want it to be manual, be typed automatic myself, I can choose another format here. So so you can choose how you want it. I can choose short text. Then I say maybe the name. Okay, because of time, let me just put a few fields. I have the name. Now the name fields, and this is one of the things that we normally have in database. It normally brings in there are these warnings that come up. So we should know which warning means what. Name is a reserved word. So it's better to say student name, okay, instead of saying name. Or you can say first name, okay? First name, then surname, instead of using the word name alone. Then from there, I will have maybe the sex. So I can choose this one to be lookup wizard so that can type the values I want. Then I can have F and then I can have M. Members, for our activity for this application, the activity is going to be on database. We are going to do what I'm doing here. So we are going to create a simple database for school results. Okay, we are going to base on these notes here, which I have shared in the chat. So there is a project which I have put there in those notes inside the database, this one here, chapter 14. So I want us to try out that area. And then other activities we shall see when we get time during the physical workshop. And we shall try out many others. Yeah, but this is the project that I want us to try out. A school marks and reports database. So create related students and results tables. So we want students database and results tables. Okay, so that's what we want to create. So we are going to do here. So let me say finish. So this is the student. Okay, so student, with the student, we shall have the student details, student ID or student number. I can change this one to student number, F name, sex. Then from there, what else do I need to capture? Let me ask the members to tell me which other field do you want me to capture here? So you tell learners they brainstorm. Actually, you can first give them an activity to brainstorm the fields that they should capture on the student, and then also the whatever. So which other field do you recommend?
Class.
Okay, we have the class. Class, okay, that is good. I can even have house. What else?
You can have section either day or boarding.
Hey, either day or boarding. Okay.
Date of birth. Yes, date of
So
birth.
we can even have the parents' contact. Contact. Okay. Can have that. Now, the parents' contact, should it be a number? Telephone number, should it be a number?
A text.
Why?
Because if you use a number, there's a provision. There's where it will not be able to bring 0. In case you have a number to begin with 0 plus.
Yeah. So it should be a telephone number should be text because it will not allow a 0 and the +256. Section, I can also use lookup wizard and I say I'll type the values I want and then I put there, especially for boarding, and then I have what? Boarding, and then I have what? boarding, and then I have day. Okay. Then boarding there. Then the house, I could also put there houses for the school. This one is good to put this in the data entry to be quick. So let me just put colors. So yellow house, red house, green house, and then what? And then the blue house. Yeah, those are the common colors. Okay. The classes also, we know them. So instead of people typing in different things, when you are querying, another one will put senior 5 with a dot, S.5. Another one will not put a dot. So when you query senior 5, you will not get others because others put in S.5, others put S5. So it's better to put it for fields where you know the whatever the data. It's better to put in the what? The fields, okay? Then these other ones, we can leave them. So here I save my table. And I can be good to go. I make this one a primary key, okay? Now, I'm going to create another table called results, okay? So I click on save and I say results, okay? So when I say results, I can be able to have, we are going to be having results for given subjects. So I'm going to say result ID, okay? Okay, result ID. Okay, so from here, this is a simple database of 2 tables. We could make it big, create a table for teachers, for what, but for now, we are going to create a simple table for just here. So we are going to have result ID. So we should have a subject, maybe mathematics. Okay, and this is going to be short text. And then we are going to have a mark. Okay. So English mark for that learner. And then we are going to have we need to know the teacher who has so if we want to create another table for teacher, which we can relate to that field, so that we have there. But for now, but I think we can even we can let me add their teacher. Yeah, so let me put here for teacher. I'm going to do what we call teacher ID. So I have another table for teachers. And is going to the teacher ID. I can call it let it also be short text. It's fine. Okay, so I have this. Then I can need maybe the timestamp. When was this marker updated or anything? There could be many things. Which other field do you think I need to add here? We want to capture our marks for given subjects. So the brainstorming can be there. Okay. Then we are going to generate queries to get the totals, the age and average, and even you can make a report card. So for me, as Shareability, I've made a report card system. Is there any member here on call who has used our system of Shareability, our report system, which is used based on Excel? Any member here? Please, members, don't keep. I want to wrap up quickly and then we finish. Is there any member here who purchased our report card system for Shareability?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. Wow.
Mr. Lugwana, you got it, eh?
Yes, I got, but links to publish are not to database. I wonder whether...
Now the other one is publish and Excel. But I can decide to make another one based on Access only, whereby everything you enter in Access and you generate a report card in Access. Because Access has what called a report feature and the tables and everything and calculations. So this is the project. If maybe someone says, okay, for me, the publisher is disturbing and Access, I tell, okay, you can use Access if you want. So you can use these things. And I'm glad several members on the call. So this is an example of using applications for the world of work. Okay. So here we have this. So it requires brainstorming really on what is needed. Now, after here, let me quickly create another one very fast because of time. Let me just create another one for teacher. Okay. Okay. So teacher. Okay. Teacher. So I'm going to have teacher ID. Okay. Let me make it text. Let me make it text so that you can. Then I can have the S name, and then I can have the L name, and then what else can I capture the teacher? What else can I capture the teacher?
I think class is important.
Class.
Class teachers.
A teacher may teach many classes. So that would be a redundant field. I think we can have
Teacher code.
maybe the teacher code, maybe the telephone contact, and maybe so we have to, you see, database requires brainstorming. Okay, so let me just end there because of time. Let me just end there. So now I've created my tables. This one has a primary key and all others. Now, how do I go and create a relationship? It's better to create a relationship before you enter any data. So that is something. So under database tools, you go to relationships and you add your fields. You relate your tables before you enter any data. Okay. So I'm going to have now these results are supposed to be for a given student. So you see, we have forgotten to link the student to the result. Whose result is it? We have put the teacher, but we have not put the student. So let me first go back. So I'm going to go to the results. I go to the, so with this one, we are not supposed to just tell learners everything, given the fields to put everything. Let them brainstorm and see if they can. So I'm going to insert a row above. So I'm going to have the student. Okay. Here I just put the student ID, not the student name, so that it helps me to link. And even here I put the teacher ID. So these ones are going to be the, and they must be the same data type with the other side where we are going to link them. So from here, I know some member was telling us yesterday that we were very fast in web design, but these sessions, we are quick overview, but I'm going to share with you some videos that we have already made in these aspects, which we can follow. And also later on, you can pause and play around. So whatever I'm doing, members, you are going to do. So I'm going to come here where there is student ID. I'm going to connect it with the student number here. If I'd wanted, I would have made them the same name. I say create. You double click on it, by the one, enforce refresh integrity, cascade update related field, so that in case you update, then it updates this side. It should show the one-to-many relationship if it has been affected. Then also here, I drag this to this, and then I also enforce refresh your integrity and cascade update the related field. So I finished doing my relationship. So we shall have results for a given student by a given teacher for a given subject. If we had wanted to create another table for subject, maybe with subject code, what, but here we can just put there the subject directly, and we are good to go. So finished. After putting that, now finished designing my table. Now I can go ahead and I enter my data. Now I cannot enter results without a student. Okay, I cannot enter results without a student. So I should be able to know, because if I try to put in here a result, maybe I put student ID, maybe 001, maybe I say S001, and then I put the subject chemistry, okay? Then I put marker 85 and the teacher ID 001. maybe T002, it is going to refuse. Who can tell me why? Who can tell me why it is refusing me to enter the result? Let me ask someone here. Gertrude Babidye. Babidye?
Yes.
Why is this thing refusing to add my results in the results table?
Where? Under teacher's ID.
I'm entering a record in the results table right now. It's the first table that I've opened to enter data after designing my database. But I'm trying to enter the first thing, it is refusing. The first record is refusing to be entered. It is bringing this error. Let me ask Nadia Mbaskovia. Nadia Mbaskovia, are you able to say something?
I think I missed something. And,
Hey, the ladies, I want the ladies to be the ones to tell me. Where is the Namata Shakira?
Or maybe because I'm saying, is it after entering the teacher ID, that's when they brought that error?
No, after entering the record, every entire record. I'm trying to enter a record, but it's refusing. The entire record has refused to be saved.
Is that teacher ID also exists in the teacher ID?
I've not yet entered data elsewhere. This is the first step I'm entering data.
I'm not getting it now.
So some members. Yes.
Change a record because the record is required in table student. The ID could get me something here.
Okay, let me. Okay, you were almost there. Semakula Rahma.
Yes, Mr. Mary. I want to be very honest. I'm not so good at accents. I'm learning, yeah.
I'll be taking this video. Okay, let me. Should I pass it on to the men over?
Rogers, me, I think because the primary keys are not agreeing. It is something to do with the primary key, I think. That you find it somewhere.
Okay, now, ladies.
I think.
Okay, let me ask Mr. There's our colleague who had put up his hand, Charles.
Okay, for me, I think it is because the system cannot recognize the student with ID S001, and at the same time, it cannot save that record because you have attached her to the teacher T002, who is not yet known in the database.
So what would be your advice?
My advice is that we start by registering our students in the database of students so that it knows that student number S001, so and so. Then we go and enter the teachers who are teaching those different subjects in the teachers database table. Then we come back and enter the results.
Yeah, so you cannot enter marks when you have not put in students and even the teachers who are supposed to. So you cannot start by entering marks. That's what I wanted you people to recognize. We have gone direct to enter results for no student in the system, no teacher in the system. So the thing will not allow, and that's the beauty of relationships. If there were no relationships, it would just allow us to enter the data. When we are entering marks for students who are not registered. I don't know whether Madam Najemba, I hope you have now got it there.
Yes, I've got it. I've got
Yeah.
it.
So what we are supposed to do is to first right click on this and close, and it will bring these errors because again you just say yes, and then you can't record at this time, and then you say yes. One of the things you need to know is you need to know how to deal with this. So basically that is it. And maybe there is another small trick that I wanted to also show. Sometimes we want to do what we call drop downs. If I enter my student here, if I enter my student here, if I go the other side, I should be able to select that student. Okay. Yeah, but for now, I was going to do what we call lookup wizard, and then you select another table as a source. But for now, let me just put the student numbers manually. So S001, then I can have, so let me have the students, the men can be the students. So let me have Noah. Okay, sorry members, for today we have delayed a bit in the session because computer applications user is especially the applications are many, but I'm going to let us see how we can move and then we see. So Noah, database is okay. So here you can see the drop down list is there, male. The class, I can select my class, okay, maybe senior 3. The house, I can select it. It makes it easier to enter data because we put in these drop downs. So it is a very good principle to put in. So parents contact, I can put in the contact. Okay. Maybe one thing that I forgot to put is I would have put something to do with fees, so that we could do some queries. Actually, when you go to our project, there is the generate results for queries, totals, average. Anyway, I would have put fees maybe, and I calculate fees balance. Okay. Also on the but here we shall just query the results themselves. It's fine. Let us leave out the fees for now. So so I have that. So I have Noah. That one has entered because it is not a prerequisite for any other field. So S002. Then I can have, so it depends on how you made your relationship, what is related to what. Okay. So I can have another person. I can have Lugwana Benedict. Okay. Lugwana Benedict. Okay. I can enter that one, then I can have the house, maybe blue section is there. And then I can have my 07 that. Okay. Because of time, let me just enter one more, S003. And this time, let me put a lady. Let me put video. So for you members, I want you to put at least 10 learners per class. Put in enough data, you can, or at least 5 per class for each of the 6 classes. That means 6 times 5, around 30 records. So put in some data. So at least let us have some good practice on this database. So that we can have this one was male. Okay, the class I can put still senior 3, and then the house I say red, and then I say this one is in boarding, and I put there the contact of the parent. Now, after doing that, I finished my student, just like Mr. Charles told us. I close my database. I go to the teacher's side. T001, the S name is, let me put the teachers. S name is Dennis Wogisha. Ogisha Dennis, and I put his phone number. Okay. Then I'm going to have T002. Then I will have Dumba. Okay. Stephen. Then I put there phone contact. So after doing that, now if I go to my results and I try to enter in results now, S001. So now what I've done here is that I can put here a drop down and it shows me. I just select a student from the other side. That thing is possible, but I'm going to ask you as an assignment. How do I make that? Because I may not know the student number for Gertrude, they don't have to type it manually. So how do I make a drop for this thing to pick names from the student side? How do I do that? So there is something that I would ask you to find out. So, so the subject here, I can say maybe English. So I would have also a table for subjects. So I would have a drop down of subjects. Then I have a 90 and a teacher ID. Also, I can have a drop down of teachers here instead of typing in manually. So even with the Shabite report system, we have been making versions. Version 1, version we improve. So you can redesign this and put the drop downs and improve it. Now, why has it brought RID 2 instead of 1? It's because at first we tried to create a record and we didn't save it. So next time the auto number field variable has been incremented to 2. So in case we are to reset, we have to truncate the entire table for it to go back to 1. Yeah, but let me just come here. Let me say mass. Okay. And then I put there another number, a mark, maybe 56. And the teacher here was T002. Okay. Student, another student was S. Let me hope I'm typing the correct student numbers. If it was wrong, it would not allow. For example, if I put here a student, maybe, okay, let me put 03. Then I put maybe English. Okay. And then I put here maybe 76. And then here I put T007. It will not allow because there is no teacher of T007. It's not there in the database, the other side. So it will only allow me to enter T002 and T001. Okay. So this is so you can enter in marks. Now, after I'm putting in my marks, I can go and I run my queries. Okay. The computations, the aggregates, the what now are going to be created through the queries. Now here I've entered the data through the table, but the best thing would have been to create a form, and this form would be the one to be used. So when I say create form, I can be able to, instead of entering data manually, I can have a form. I save my form, results entry form. Okay, so I would use this form to enter the data instead of entering the data from the table, so that I enter each student alone. Okay, so if I come in here, this is student number 3, and I click on the plus, I can come here and I put in another student, maybe S 00. I don't know whether the other one was 0 what. Okay, if I try to put in a student who is already existing, it will refuse. It will say primary key already used, but this is not actually the primary key. But it can allow you to put the same student, but for another subject. So I can have S001, and I'm putting another subject, maybe geography. Okay. Okay, for the same student. And in geography, I got 56. So this is it. It of course can be optimized in a better way. It can be redesigned. The database can be redesigned in a different way. So I have my that. So entering the data like that means if I got the results, I'll find geography for the same student. Now I'm through with forms and tables and queries and everything. So the next thing I'm having is a query. How do I make a report card for student 001? So I'm going to say create. I'm going to say, before I make the report, I have to come and say the query design. Okay, then I select all my tables because I may need to reflect the teacher's initials, the results, and the details of the learner on the report card. Okay, so I'll query all my things like this. Then from here, this one I put it twice, so I will have to remove this one, remove table. Okay, so we are moving. I can capture. So I have the student number, the student's name, the other name, maybe the sex, the class. These are the fields I want to appear on the report card. Okay, I don't want the parents' contact. That was for the teacher, the school's consumption. Then I have the results. Okay, I have the results for. So I have the results for the subject and then the mark for a given result, and then I have the teacher who has the teacher who has done what? Who has given the marks. So, yeah, so I can rename these fields. I can say teacher's name. I can rename I can be able to rename these fields as needed, but let me first go like that. Okay, so if I want to rename it, I will say teachers, not to confuse it, I'm going to say teacher's name. Teacher's S name. Okay. I put a colon, meaning that this is the actual field, but this is an alias. Then here also, I'm going to say teacher's teacher L name. Then I put a colon. Okay, so if I run the query, you'll see it is going to bring teacher's name, and I didn't want S names here to confuse with these other F names of the student. So I have something like that. So what do I want? I may need to do other things that I may need to maybe aggregate and other things which I may need to compute and all that. Yeah, so if I want maybe, so I'm not going to go into a lot of details here, but I could put in a formula. For example, here for the marks, I could put in a formula for maybe the grade or aggregate or anything. I would put in here. So that is something that we can go and find and explore. So I would put in a formula here. There's what we call how is it called? I can do a zoom build. Is what called build. Okay. Yeah. So from here I can use there are several functions here. We have the inbuilt functions, just like we have in Excel. The functions that we have in Excel, the sum, the count, the what, they are all here. The maximum, I even have the if. You see, all these formulas are here, and they can be used to whatever. So let me put in an if. Let me just put a simple if, and I say if. So I'm going to put the mark. Okay. Members, are you following me?
Yes, I'm following.
Hey, so if I come and I say if, and I want to put here the mark, so the marker was this field. So I'm going to say if mark. Okay. This is an if. We have been doing if statements in. So I'm going to say if mark is greater than 70. Okay. Then the true part, I'm going to say passed. Okay. Then the false part, I'm going to say what? Failed. So let me just call it a remark. Okay. Let me try to do that and I see. So let me try to zoom again. Sorry. So you can zoom and we see very well what we are doing here. Okay, so I have if, let me remove this. If mark is greater than 70, okay, let me see if it can run. Okay, persuade, go back. Okay, just a second. Yeah, so members, these things are possible, and you see with the vocational. So let me see if mark is greater than. Okay, let me go back to my functions.
What's the 70?
Huh? Just a second. So I want to use what you call the logical function. Okay. I'm going to have all my functions here. Have the inbuilt functions, and I have my all. So this is an advanced function, but advanced calculation. So I have this if returns depending on the evaluation of the expression. So this is the function. So we have it in this form. So we have our mark. Okay. Mark is our field. Okay, so if mark is greater than 70. Okay, let me first do this. Let me first do this in a simple way. And I see. So this is our remark. Okay. Okay, it is still returning simple error here. Let me see. Okay, we can go and do more exploring of this, and we see what we can do here. Okay, it is not returning my answer. Okay, let me see. Let me see what the right format of how we can use this if function. But for now, let me just do this. Let me do this because of time. I may not have time to troubleshoot why I'm returning that error up to now. Let me just do a simple. So if I have the way how we compute, we use our field. So our field is mark. By the way, before I go back there, let me first, did I put the right data type? Let me first save everything. If I go back to the results, I think I put that. That is the problem. Are you seeing this? The data type was not a what? A number. Data type was text. So because of that, the thing was not managing to what? To compute. So yeah, so you can see the thing has been now right aligned. Okay. So programming is like that. So we can do a simple database. So let me, you see, now it is working. Okay, it's now working. So I think members, we have explored something here. So let me zoom. So we can actually do a complete report system in a database without using Excel first and then failed. Okay. Good. So we should be good at these things here. Okay, so good. So you see my remark? My remark has come. So I would program it to give me aggregates instead by putting a longer if. And then I can do, now after doing my query like this, I can save it as, I can rename it. Maybe let me ask members, have you understood that part or have been very fast? I want to conclude here. So I'm going to say student watch results. This is a query. Members, have you known how I've calculated this remark? How I've come up with this?
Yes.
Yes. So Semakula Rahma is saying I've been fast, okay? So this is what I've done, Semakula. I just went and I said create, and then I said create what? I want someone to direct me. Now, let me not talk. Who has understood what I've done? How I got that formula? I want you to be the one to talk as you direct me. I go back and I create it very fast now that we have passed through it. Let me ask who? Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, did you see when I was doing this remark?
We can do.
Okay, what should I do right now? Where should I click?
Can use a query wizard.
Query wizard. Okay, I can use query wizard or I can use query design.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we did all of them.
I can take all of them.
Then you check the source of the. You can also check the source.
Then I change the source. This time we are using a query wizard. The other time we just used the normal query. So I have taken all the results. I've taken, so here I can first take, for example, the students, and I say take all, but I don't want the parents' contact, so I can return it.
Okay.
And even maybe the section I don't want, so I can return those. Then I select another one, that is the results.
Yes.
Okay. Results, I just need the mark and the subject. Okay.
Yes.
So I can return the teacher ID and the result ID. Then I also need the what? The teacher. I just need the teacher's name and the what? Next, I've selected my fields. Then I say next.
Yes.
Then I open the design. Okay, so when I do that, this is a quick way of creating the wizard. It will just do the query quickly.
Yes.
But now I want to go and put my other calculated field. So what do I do?
Go to the design view.
I go to the design view. So I'll go under home, design view.
Yes.
So when I'm there.
So at the extreme end, you create another field.
Yeah, at the extreme end, I go to another field.
With a name, then you put a semicolon.
Okay, so let me do that. So I'm going to say name.
You give
semicolon.
The name may be grade or what? That's what I was meaning.
Yeah, it was a remark.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we start the calculation if. I think we're using if, isn't it?
Yeah. And I've realized here in the database, it uses a double if. It uses double I.
Double I, okay.
If,
If mark. That mark
has to be square brackets. Is greater than what?
70.
70.
Quotes. Past. The comma failed in quotes.
Failed.
Bracket.
Thank you very much. Let us see that. So, so here, if you know the formula of head, you just type it. But if you don't know, then you can use the other query wizard. So you can see it has worked like a charm without even disturbing. So members, can you clap for Mr. Thomas? You can clap using reactions. So, yeah, thank you, Mr. Ogisha. I've seen the clap. Good. So after doing the queries, we can do many other calculations there. And in this book, which I have shared with you in the WhatsApp group, there are several examples of calculations in queries. Now, from there, finally, I'm going now to create my what? My report. Okay. Now, of these results, I could say I want only, I could go in this query and I say I want only results for one student. So I want the results for only NUA. So I'll go back into my query because I want to do a report for only NUA. So I'll go to my query design. I'll go back to my query design and I specify, okay, and I specify that I want for only NUA. Okay, so I will go back to my design view. How do I specify for only NUA? So I will go under S name and I say 001. Eh? So under S here, criteria, I will say S00 1. So that it runs for only NUA's results only. Okay, so depending on which teachers have entered marks, all NUA's marks will be here. Okay, so I have that query. So when they are making a database, we can find a way of programming it for it can make those queries automatically for each learner. Then from there, I can say create report. Okay, so when I say report, it will create a report for the table I had selected, but I didn't want a report for the teacher's table, so I will close this. Instead, I will go and say create report wizard. It's better so that I can select where I want. I want it to be based on maybe the student's query table. And I can take all the fields. Then I go ahead. I want to organize them by student. Okay. So it is going to make for me. Okay, this table here was the one of the whatever had. It had this one had the all. Let me see. Let me close this as I finalize. So the one of student results, the one which had only NUA. So let me go back here as we wrap up. So I'm going to say create. Then I say report wizard. Then I select student results, take all my fields. Next. Grouping, I may not group because one student. The fields which I want, I don't want any grouping there. I can arrange them by maybe by subject. And then I can choose landscape since it is a bit long. And then I can say students report. Okay. Preview report. Okay, so now I can go to what you call this thing is editable. This is now a document. So I can be able to modify it using what you call close print preview. There's what you call the report. The layout view is good enough. It can enable you to adjust. You can remove actually some of these fields. Actually, we could put these fields in different places. We can modify these and design it the way we want it to appear on the report card. Okay, so you can be able to adjust where you need to adjust, and then you have your report card. So up here, I can change the colors. I can go to what you call the design view. The design view. Under design view, that's why I can change the colors. And you can actually insert, you can redesign the report card and insert. We have these fields here. The labels and everything, And even these fields, you can reorganize them on the report card. For example, you can get the F name and others, and you see where you want to put them. You can adjust the rows and everything. So there's actually one of the companies, Kampala Computer Center. They designed their report card in Publisher, and they came here creatively, and then they designed the report card. So you can come here under footer, you adjust, you put here your footer, the school motto, and other things. Yeah, but because of time and our time has moved, I'm not going to go much there, but at least we have done something. I want you to try to go and do something here. I'll also get time and I be creative. So when we are doing a review on Saturday, we can be able to discuss more, okay? We can be able to discuss more during the review on Saturday, as we are going to be discussing there. So members, like we said, our sessions here that we are doing, we are having 2 weeks to cover work of 3 years. So it is not really feasible to say that we are going to pass through each of the practical exercises in these modules. But like we have had a session today, we share experiences and we share resources so that we are able and equipped, and we have our group will know, even after the training, our group will remain open. So we shall always share experiences even when we are handling what? The learners. So members, I don't want you to say something, hey, now the teacher was very fast. He would tell us to also open the computer. We do together. I click, he clicks. That means we are going to spend the whole day on the Zoom call. We would like to do that, but the nature of our training here is to do what? Is to share the experiences and then get there. Then we are sharing with you the resources and the books, and also the training manuals also. We are going to give them, we are going to get there and get them. Only that most of the members have paid only the 50,000. So we are going to make phone calls today, later on today, and we find out so that we can go and get the books. And then we find out sending them. We had wanted to get the books tomorrow, but the numbers are still a bit low there. Okay, so Mr. Ogisha, maybe we can ask for some few questions and then we wrap up with the session.
Okay, thank you very much. Colleagues, I'm going to ask that you hit the reactions button and then clap for Mr. Mukarere Rogers for such a very detailed presentation. Thank you all. Mr. Ranga Benedict has joined me to appreciate Mr. Mukarere Noah. Sorry, Teacher Noah. Thank you. Thank you all. Teacher Thomas, Mr. Mukarere, those are the reactions you're seeing, expressions of gratitude to you, guiding us through that session. So the goal of our interaction, like he has said, was high level for us to share experiences, and well, had the privilege. Then thank you for the bonus of access. Now, apparently, I want us to receive any comment or a question precisely. If there is any, I would want to invite a person to put up their hand. While we are going through the presentation, there was only one comment which came from chat, that is through Teacher Benedict. And I think Teacher Rogers already addressed that. Then Mr. Ranga earlier on said one of the ways, or one of the strategy, actually say to help learners get familiar to the world of work, I engage learners in skill outside those on the schedule, like designing flyers, vouchers and invoice books, business cards, and others which are common in the field. Well, that is very good, Mr. Rugwana Benedict. Keep it up. And I know if we had a moment to share jointly, majority of the colleagues would have shared more experience. So is there any other colleague on the call right now having a very burning issue or a comment, for us to receive it before we end, because we have spent all our time. I'm looking at the participant list to identify any person putting up their hand. Yeah. Normally the silence is unison, it's acknowledgement that we have had a good session. Yeah, so thank you again in a special way for attending this session. I want to invite you back again in the evening for another session as we switch to the third module, that is in web development. But as we go off the Zoom to have more time to prepare for the evening, I want to appeal to you not only to be passive, but at least use the time to go through this content. The disclaimer we give is the resources will stay in the Google Classroom. Yesterday, but one, there was an assignment which was created. I want to ask you to go back, download the resources, review them, and then do the assignment. In any case, wish you a very good day. Look forward to seeing you. And those who have not made the payments completely, I want to encourage you to, at least now that they are talking about the books, now that the DIT yesterday was giving us a clearance to go on with assessment, and there was a demonstration made on how you people are going to be registered. That is on the portal for the school, is on school, where we are going to have our assessment. In prior to that, I want to encourage us to advance the payments so that we continue normally. I'm thankful again for you attending, and I look forward to seeing you again in the evening.
Yeah, Mr. Ogisha, something small.
Okay.
We are having a digital library that we've set up recently. We have the Shareability digital library, but also we have a new one running on Colibri, and on that platform, we have uploaded some videos for computer applications, Mr. Ogwal and Mr. Dumba. Actually, Mr. Ogwal was supposed to join us, but he has not yet. He has some program workshops which are running at school, and the head teacher has put him in whatever, so he has not yet managed to join us, but he'll share with us when he gets the time. So when you go to share, so we have shareability.net and we also have shareability.org. Now the difference is that shareability.net works online. If you have internet, you can access shareability.net and you can search. There are several past papers which you can get and give learners. They have all these applications, database, access, everything. So on shareability.net, what is going to help your learners to excel in applications is enough practice, members. Then on shareability.org, shareability.org, for it can work offline without internet. How? If you install Colibri on the computers, and then you can import this shareability.org digital library. And once when you connect it and import, then that's all. Now learners can always go to it and they learn, okay? So shareability.org, this is going to be the NGO side of shareability, and we are going to be engaging some partners like UNICEF and others who are supporting ICT integration, especially in areas without connectivity. So we are going to be deploying this digital library in rural areas with the support from those partners. So when you go to, so we can come to your school and your library, maybe you have any computing or something, and then we can install for you this digital library. So we have BongoKit, this material, whereby even without internet, learners can access. So there is a channel, Ezone School of Computing. It has tutorials of Word by Ezone School, Excel and other tutorials, and even these ones by Ogwal Isaac. So when you go there, you'll find Word 2007. These are videos. So we can install them such that your learners can excel database. So members who are saying that I've been very fast, believe me, the 1 hour was not enough for me to teach you very slowly. I had to just quickly walk through the number. But you can get these videos of Mr. Ogwal and watch, and you will be okay. Okay? And you can invite us as Shareability. We can come to your school and install for you Colibri and put them on the computer. Just like you have Britannica or Encarta. We put them on your digital library, and there's no need for more internet. Learners cannot just double click on the icon and they watch all the videos and other materials for other subjects. Yeah, so shareability.org is the NGO side of Shareability Uganda, and shareability.net is the business side of Shareability Uganda. So that is what I wanted to clarify, Mr. Ogisha.
Well, thank you. I know my colleagues on call will find some time to navigate to both the sites and explore before they can venture in it. Otherwise, want to appreciate you again. So, colleagues, it is 1 minute to midday with my clock right now. I want to wish you a very good day, and hopefully if there is another challenge or remark, let us use the chat room to make comments or questions. Have a good day and look forward to seeing you later on during the course of the day at 8 p.m. Thank you. With all my team, wish you the best.